Jesus, dude, that's really high.
Yeah, dude. I'm all about getting.
That's really high for a 1080p stream.
Okay, we're back, everyone.
Like most 1080p streamers do, but like.
I'm getting some frame hits actually, not just like drop frames. Sometimes it'll just drop from like 60 to 4, but it won't give me a full drop frame. My CPU isn't even trying that hard right now either. Yep, there we go. We lagged again. Huh. How are we though, guys? How do we?
Well, hopefully I sound better.
Do you sound better? Give me a testarino.
Mic check 1 2. How do I sound, chat? Am I too far away from the mic, maybe?
See if I can get anything I can do about Skype. Skype.
People are saying I sound fine now. Is there a noise gate? We're using the same settings we always use.
Yeah, I don't know, guys.
I mean, as long as you can hear both of us, that's probably good enough. I mean, yeah, the last Top Clock episode we dropped some frames here and there, but it really wasn't that bad in the grand scheme of things. We lowered the bit rate. I'm a bit louder than Huey. My mic might be closer to me than Huey's is to him or something.
I'm just gonna turn down Brian's microphone a little bit on my end, and he will hopefully be around where I am, and then you can just raise both of us.
Yeah. Hopefully we just don't drop a bunch of frames. So
okay, you sound good to me on this end now. Okay, cool.
Okay, cool. Now we can continue. So let me get back to what I was going to do before and explain why I am not building the ALF X3 on stream today, because I know a lot of people are hyped for that. I was hyped for that. Huey was hyped for that. It was going to be awesome. So let me just start the explanation. So here's the PCB that I received for the ALF X3. This is a prototype of a prototype. Let me just start by saying that. If you'll notice, there is no USB port. Just no USB port. There is a location for a USB port right here. So normally you have one up here, so it sticks out. It just solders straight onto the PCB, sticks out a little bit, so you can it comes out the case, plug it in. But that's not the case. For some reason, it's down here. I have no idea why. So that's part of the reason I was doing it. In theory, I could do something pretty ghetto and just steal a USB port from another PCB, run some wire, and do like an extension, and then like try to figure it out from there, and like that could work. But I just learned today that ALF wants all of it back, so he can do more prototyping, which totally understandable. I get it. So I'm really hoping we get a more final version to review. Also, I will show off the case. Yeah, don't worry, guys. Sorry. So a couple things to note is that this prototype unit is actually quite a bit different from the actual final version it's going to be, which is kind of why I was like, well, maybe we should try to get our hands on a more final version before we review it. There's a lot of differences here, guys. This actually is not supposed to be a left port USB. It's supposed to be a middle port. The PCB is going to be very, very, very different. And also, this PCB doesn't support the LED indicator lights here, which is kind of a bummer. Also, I just learned today that I got a carbon fiber plate, as you can see. That will not even be offered in the group box. Aluminum, as far as I'm aware.
Oh my god, Skype is shitting the bed right now.
Really?
Yeah.
This has to be Skype's then. Oh.
I'm pretty confident that we can just blame Skyperino for this debacle.
It's such a bummer. You sound totally fine to me.
How about brainstorming? Okay, it was recommended to me. We should try out. We mute ourselves. Sorry if I hit the microphone, guys. Mute ourselves in Skyperino, and then we go on Discord for just voice.
That does seem like it could work.
Is Apocalypse asking, is your mic on auto sensitivity in Skype?
No. I have my noise gate set to like a certain point, but I haven't changed it. It's where it's always been for Top Clack and build streams and everything else. I'm willing to try that, Huey. You want to do that?
Yes, I'm just going to mute you right now. Just stay on video, of course. Hello?
Hello.
Can you guys
Do I
hear
sound-
Brian? You sound great, because we're on Discord.
Yeah, you sound clearer too, because Skype, man.
I just need to
All right,
disable
guys.
push to talk, because...
Yeah, same.
Testing 1, 2. You guys hear us?
Can you guys hear both of us just fine? That's
Much
so
better?
much better.
Probably.
Good to know. Maybe we'll have to just do that from now on.
Looks like there's no desync.
Looks like there is no desync. That's a good thing, right? A lot better, but the stream is still dropping in and out.
I'll have to take a look at that at some point.
Okay, but the mic quality is better.
Yes.
And last time we were dropping frames, people were still able to hear us just fine. I did watch the VOD, and our audio was still fine the whole time. So that's something to consider as well.
Cool. Okay, so...
Yeah, as long as our audio is good, we will continue, because the drop frames, we are aware they're happening, but it seems relatively minor in the grand scheme of things.
According to OBS, it was a little laggy at the beginning, but I haven't had any dropped frames since. It gives me a 0 drop frames and still at 60 frames per second. Anytime it drops down, it does notify me, but I haven't got anything yet.
I just watched it lag on stream.
Maybe
For like half a second.
maybe we can blame Twitch for this one. At least, oh, I saw it. Okay, I saw it dip down, so it's lagging frames. I'm not dropping them. I'm lagging frames. Interestingly. Sweaty Yeti, thanks so much.
You know, this is gonna sound dumb, but how about we take off the sponsor GIF and just see if that helps?
Probably will.
Because like 2 or 3 people suggested that last time for some reason.
I've taken it
So,
off.
Okay.
I've hit it. It's not deleted, but I've hit it.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Oh.
Okay. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we should just take it off for a second. I don't know.
I did. I mean, we won't know until it drops again. So we'll take it off and let's just continue for now.
All right. So, yeah. Anyways, that's what's going on with the PCB. This is like a prototype of a prototype. It's not even close to the finished design, which is kind of a bummer. And it's you know, because I don't have a USB port on it, it's not really usable, and that's just kind of unfortunate. So that's the main reason I'm not doing it today, but also because I'm probably gonna have to send everything back because ALF wants to do more testing anyways. And I figured it'd be kind of stupid for me to just butcher this PCB and build it up just to send it back immediately and hope for, you know, a more finalized version later on. So Z Frontier and us are still working out what we're going to do, and hopefully we'll still be able to get something going on, which will be cool.
Whoa. Everyone, thank you so much for the bits. Brino, especially for that 1K right there, 1K plus.
Nice.
Oh.
Well, yeah, 1905. What
yeah.
an interesting about. I like that. That's great.
Well, he is
Thanks, man.
Brino 1905, so he's got a rep.
Yeah.
The number
He's got
one.
that fancy shamrock. The 1000-bit shamrock is like way more epic than the other ones. That's cool. Thanks for the bits, guys. Yeah, we just recently got this bit tip jar thing. I don't know. So that's pretty cool. You guys can watch it happen on stream. It's pretty fun. I've been kind of entranced by it. It looks like our jar did reset.
It did.
Which is interesting, because when we actually restarted the stream, it was still full. So it had to reset after that. The more bits you donate, the more fancy emote you can use while donating. Oh, interesting. Okay. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool, actually, honestly. You think they flew out? That's probably true. Okay, so anyways, back to the build stream so we're not rambling too much. That is why I'm not building the ALF X3 tonight. I'm really sorry, guys. I was outrageously pumped to build it. but it's looking like that's not the case yet. Hopefully, in the near future, we can get something more final, and then we'll be able to build and review it a lot more professionally. But instead, I got something else. So Impa Club sent Huey a Night Fox, if you recall. They sent me a White Fox, but not just any White Fox. As you might have seen yesterday, I got this sweet Datamancer wood case for it as well. So I'm going to be building up a White Fox using this, and that should be pretty cool. I really like the idea of how it closes with magnets and like it's actually like really sturdy. Like I actually want to build this and take it with me, just for the sake of using the magnets. Yeah. As for, I'm actually going to rotate my camera now. Sorry for the vertigo, guys.
Oh, that's gonna be a fun build. Night Fox. Did you your Sorbathane?
I do have Sorbathane.
So hopefully that does help with the wood noise. I know a lot of people might not know. Brian and I are a bit critical when it comes to wood cases, because usually they use cheaper woods, in my personal opinion, and because of that, the sound usually suffers quite a bit. As a background information, I grew up in the furniture industry. So for the most part, I haven't seen some good construction for wood cases, which is fine because it's cheap. But
yeah, you live for Ford Big Brother's camera vertigo. I know. I'm sorry, guys. One of these days, I'll have a capture card and I can do what Huey does. But I can't do that quite yet. But that's okay. You guys can still see what's going on here. It's gonna be all inside that human. Anyways, for people that care what I'm drinking, because I know some of you are fine purveyors of whiskey and or beer as well. Got a couple really good things going on, actually. It's a little bit better than what I typically drink, but my girlfriend bought it for me because I'm spoiled. So I got some Ghost Owl Rye, which I've been really, really, really liking lately. I don't really care for their normal whiskey very much, honestly. I think it's actually kind of bad. But the rye, for whatever reason, is like wonderful. So I'm gonna be going with some of that, and I have one of my top 3 IPAs, might even be top 2. This is the Breakside's Wonderlust IPA. This is out of Portland, Oregon, I believe. Yeah, Portland. Really, really unique and good IPA. Actually, just find a bottle opener. Let me grab that and some Sorbathane, BRB.
While he grabs that, I will be explaining what I am doing. I'm going to decide if I want to build the Revo one in human pink color, or if I want to build up this Gone 60% acrylic plate and case. So those are my 2 options for tonight. I have Utemu Ice, which is I could use for this, or for this I have also either Utemu Ice or retooled MX Blacks that would break in for 2 weeks and then lube up with 1504.
I think you definitely need to break in some of those retooled blacks.
What Utemu's the light 62 gram tactiles, basically discount Zeals. Also gonna need to decide which sticker I want to put on the human, you know what I'm saying?
On the human. I want to see you finger that human, says Admiral Lolicon. Wow. Oh. It's wow.
I'm sorry, but it doesn't fit.
Damn, I hate when it doesn't fit. Which, obviously happens to me all the time. Retooled blacks on human flesh. Thanks for the Craigasm bits there, 256k. Appreciate that.
Have a wonderful night, 256k.
Right. So let's see what I got to work with here. So I haven't really looked at most of this, honestly. I like how the White Fox PCB comes in its own box. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I was a big fan of that.
Like that is some protection right there. Jesus. I need to put my mic in a spot where I hit it. Alright. What other goodies I got in here? Alright, so looks like I got my White Fox PCB, got my White Fox plate. Looks like it's the Aria. So I have the slightly more segregated Windows keys, which is my preference here, actually.
Honer, thanks for subbing for 7 months in a row now. Thank you so much for that, my dude.
I got some plate-mounted stabs, what this supports. I have what appears to be my White Fox USB-C cable. I'll open that up in a second. I got some Hako Trues, which I'm going to be using in this, because I actually don't have a Hako True board, so that's what I'm going to be on that. And of course, I got the actual rather good White Fox PBT keycaps, because they're cherry profile, bruh, and PBT. So, good stuff there. I'll open these up a little bit later. Open up this cable now. I wonder if it's as fancy as the round one White Fox cable.
Okay, I'll decide this last. Okay, everyone, I need you guys in chat to see what do you guys want to see me build today, okay? Do you guys want to see me build... Let's decide case first. Acrylic gone. Which if I do use this, I also do have a Zeal 60 I could use for all those RGs and Bs for the frosted acrylic. Or do I build with the Revo 1 aluminum thick boy human? So in chat, give me a 1 for the gone acrylic, and type in 2 if you want me to use the Revo. 1 gone, 2 Revo. Give me a 1 or 2 in chat, my dudes.
Human Revo. Wait, what were the options again? What is 1 and 1 is 2?
1 is the acrylic gone, 2 is the Revo. I mean, depending on if I have time, I could do both, but I do want to start with at least 1 today. So it looks like overwhelmingly it's going to be the Revo. And yes, I do have KA 2017 to throw on this for that baller pink theme.
6-3 for the Revo.
So unless
looks like that's what you're starting with.
Yeah, unless there are any other votes going to be coming in to try to balance that out, it looks like it has been decided.
Nice. And the White Fox does actually come with some pretty nice braided USB-C cable. I like that.
Yep.
Did you see there's actually been deals lately on Monoprice for fully like built White Foxes for $120?
Yeah.
Like with kale switches, like full kits and everything. Like that's kind of nuts, actually. Stabilizers, so I'll do that a little bit later since they're plate mounted.
I'm gonna get some Soldering as well.
Right. I'm glad you're able to hear us better, guys. Hopefully it's a pretty good bump up in quality. Have anybody noticed any frame lagging or dropping frames or anything since we've removed the sponsor GIF?
No, I have not seen any frames drop. Has anyone else noticed any frames drop?
I'm wondering if anyone in chat does. Perfect, nothing. Is it really that GIF?
I mean, the GIF is like, it's a several megabyte GIF. I made that GIF a 1080p GIF, and then didn't downsize it at all.
Oh my god!
I made that GIF in Premiere, and just straight export the GIF, and I did full render depth, full bit quality.
Oh man! Do we have the old sponsor GIF at least, so we can have something up for our sponsors on this?
I only have the old sponsor GIF that doesn't have Zeal.
Damn.
Guys, I wanted the quality. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, it looked really good. It just doesn't, want to entirely work with the stream.
Okay, guys, I need to cut my sorbethane because it's too big, as you guys can see. But I'll worry that after I build. So I'm using.
Yeah,
Do you guys want to see me use these retooled blacks?
Yeah, you gotta use the retooled blacks.
Gotta use them?
Yeah, you're gonna use that brass plate, right? The brass
Yeah, the
PVD.
black PVD.
Go with the blacks, man. I think that's gonna be a winner. That's gonna be a winning combo. You gotta break them in soon, so you can lube them too.
Okay. Okay, I'll do that. Let me grab one of my fixer-upper... Or should I use one of the China PCBs or one of my fixer-upper ones?
I don't know, man.
I don't know
Whichever
either.
one works.
They all work.
Pronouncing it as GIF. I don't know. I don't think I could ever pronounce it as GIF.
What was that black piece of looking tape? That's not black tape. Actually, it's just like that, but it's sorbethane, which is a rubbery compound, great for dampening vibration and sound. So I'll show you guys my my PCB collection, because I have a lot of PCBs and I can finally use, like, my PCB shortage has finally ended. I have all of these and a Zeal 60, but I'm going to save the Zeal 60 PCB for that acrylic because, you know, all that RGBs, might as well take advantage of it, you know what I'm saying? So do I use a fix-up PCB or do I use a China PCB? That's the real question, Brian. I used a fixer-upper, I guess. No reason not to.
Wait a second.
Some of
I
these,
really...
not all the PCB is a PCB, but not all these PCBs have underglow, for example.
Wait a minute.
China PCB to appease our overlords at Z Frontier. I mean, I could just use one that doesn't have any underglow, so I can still save the ones I have with underglow. What's up, Brian?
Well, I don't know if I can build this either.
No hardware? What are you missing, Brian?
No screws.
Did you check?
So, yeah,
oh, because they come with the bottom. The screws come with the bottom case. I remember on my review. Rip. Well, you can always solder in the switches to the PCB and plate, and just, you know.
Yeah, I can. Man, everything is just going wrong for me today.
Everything is going top clack for you.
Oh my god, this feels so top clack, man.
BK for you is asking, how many keyboards do you guys own, and what do you do with all of them?
I don't build them because I don't have hardware, apparently. Oh my god. Like, I'm looking at this standoff. There's a standoff on the plate.
Yep.
I don't know exactly, like, why, but it looks like it doesn't go through the PCB, but, like, you screw it into the PCB. And I'm like, oh, okay, where's the screw? So, like, I'm looking around for a screw for, like, any kind of hardware.
Screws.
And I have no hardware. It doesn't look like they're in the keycap bag. They're definitely not in the stab bag. They weren't in the cable box. Yep, they're not in the keycaps.
Oh, Overkill says it's an ESD screw, which you don't actually need, IMO. I don't think I put my ESD screw in. I might have.
Okay. Well, that's good to know, but I still don't have screws. Yeah, one of these bags.
I'll use one of the China PCBs. Brian, you used this before. You said it was fine. A little annoying to solder, but otherwise fine, right?
The pads were a little bit lower quality, but everything was still totally fine. Yeah.
Worked with Bootmapper client just right away, and everything was hunky-dory there.
Yep.
Nice.
It was, yep. I just plugged it in, and I programmed it, and everything was hunky and dory.
Perfect.
All right, Input Club. Well,
Brandon
I guess
says to build it anyways. He'll send you screws on Monday.
okay. We'll do. I can definitely do that. So I just won't use that ESD screw, at least yet. But yeah, I don't have any of the case, so it's just gonna have to sit in here for the time being. That calls for some drinks, man. I need to get in this. You know,
Oh man, I
this
just realized
mood.
these are north-facing LED PCBs.
Oh, Admiral Lolicon says Wood Fox build. Yeah, that's a good thing to call it.
Well, it works. At least all those switches I've tried so far. That's good.
Sheen Meg Ultra Rose says first Sea Frontier, now Input Club. The sponsors are trying to sabotage Brian. Dude, it's totally true. I get a PCB that isn't like usable basically, and then I get no hardware. Feels good, man. Oh well. In typical Top Clack fashion, we will attempt to prevail either way.
Yep.
I can accomplish anything with good alcohol, so thankfully I got this. Cheers to all of you guys for watching all this fail on stream.
Okay, for this build, I am going to do 7U spacebar, normal left shift, obviously, split right shift, and normal ANSI enter, like the good red-blooded American I am. I'm going to do a normal backspace. Stepped caps.
Step caps. Very nice.
Okay, dielectric grease. Check. Okay, these are some 2U stabs. I will need left shift, backspace, enter.
Mr. Apocalypse says, I don't know, but Brian drinking makes me want to drink. Yeah.
You should, buddy.
Well, now I basically have to.
I will be using one. Oh, and I need to order more 7U stabs soon. I only have 4 left, and I know I have at least 8 builds coming in. Rip my life.
At least 8 builds. This guy.
Rip my life. Have you guys? I don't know. I don't think you. I think you were sleeping, Brian. But I actually shared an Excel of all my current boards and all the things I'm waiting on as well.
Oh, you should actually send that to me.
Okay. I can put it in chat too if you guys want to see it. I have a public version and a Huey version.
Alright, got some of these Naisu Haku Chores. Sweet on that.
When is the most important part of the build happening, Huey? When are you going to pick the slap? I don't do that until the end.
Oh, is that like the new thing? The new tradition?
You want a Huey version? You want the Huey version, so I'm just only going to give the public version. I'll show you guys the link for my keyboard tracker. It includes things that are unbuilt, things I'm waiting on, and things I have. It has a lot of stats. I'll put it in chat. You guys can check it out. It has keyboard designer, name, switch weight, lube used if any, sticker filmed, yes, no, stabs, plate mount method for the case, plate switch top method, removal, yes or no, plate. Just read through it. I put a lot of details. I'm still adding more details. Like, that's my personal version. I add stuff to that, and then I export it to the public version. Like the next version that I release, this is version 0.2. 0.3 will actually have weights for every board I have as well. Has keycaps I have on them right now. If it has internal silencing, what I did about it. Yeah, it's a list. It's pretty cool.
This isn't all your boards. You use more boards than this, don't you?
I don't know.
Or this is just like the ones you currently have?
Yeah. I think I'm forgetting like 1 or 2 or 3 vintage Alps boards I have laying in the closet, but I don't really use those. I just didn't care to count those.
Okay, yeah.
And all my, so I was thinking if people want, when I eventually finish this, by even finish, I actually do plan on having a template, because like all the choices for like stabilizers and plate mount method, those are actually for me. You guys can't see them, but for me they're actually all drop down menus that I can just click them and I can just do a drop down. So I actually don't have to type it in, because drop down menus in Excel are great. Same with protected rows. Yeah, I've been working hard on that. I've been working harder on that than I should have been in like real life.
Nice.
But yeah, that is for the most part everything I have at the moment. So feel free to peruse through that list if you'd like. Admiral, thanks for joining us. Catch you later, and have fun at the Atlanta meetup, my dude. I hope you can take some good pictures if you're able to, or, you know, goad some people to take good pictures and post them onto the Top Clack Discord for us. Have fun. Yeah. I love meetups.
Heck yeah, bruh.
Did you find a buyer for your M65? I did, because it's not on that list. Floss MTG, dog finally got off your lap so you can make a drink. Awesome. What are you gonna make?
Oh yeah, what are you guys drinking, man? I always want to know what you guys are drinking.
XDA versus DSA, IMO. I like DSA more than XDA because it's more cupped.
I do as well.
But I don't like the price difference. Then again, Chinese DSA is pretty cheap now, but they don't have the cool sets. Did something happen with my Norba Touch? Yes, actually, something did happen with it. Very good catch. I didn't know you're the first one who's caught it. My Norba Touch is currently in the possession of Ryan Norbauer. If you guys saw the episode where Ryan Norbauer was on Top Clack, he was talking about how there was one batch of bad gray anodized Norba Touches, and he felt really bad that he gave people the option to send them out at a discount. I was one of the people that took the Norba Touch at a discount, and he's like, Huey, the next time I see you, give me your Norba Touch, and I will fix it for you. Because I, like, as a designer, I feel horrible that I have a defective product out there.
That's pretty good on him there.
So when I met up with him, he's like, I'm going to take this, I'm going to do a free powder coat for you in a color no one else has.
Wow.
Yeah.
What color?
You guys will see when it happens. He showed me like all these like color chips for the powder coat place, and he's like, I recommend this one. I'm like, okay, I'm going with that one then.
That is quite nice.
So, like
very
I said,
cool.
I'm not worried at all about how the Norba Forces or any of his projects will turn out, because like he goes all the way with making sure everything is perfect. Remember, he is in the Star Trek
yeah, he is like
game.
He's like a top tier designer, and so like he's very much a perfectionist. So I can definitely see where he's coming from on that front. He's also just an outrageously good guy.
Yeah, when I saw him, he let me stay over at his place. It was really cool checking out the Norb Lab. I call it that. He doesn't actually call it that.
Yeah, he wouldn't call it that. You call it like, oh, never mind.
No, here's my office.
Yeah.
I'm like,
all right, I'm gonna solder in a couple switches as placeholders here.
Actually, I was lucky our schedules met up, because I was actually just going to the area to see Input Club as well, because I actually met up with Andrew and Hata during that trip, because Input Club, they wanted me to go to the Bay Area because they treated me to all-you-can-eat bacon and beer.
Oh, that's right. You did go to the Bacon and Beer Fest.
Yeah, it was a Bacon and Beer Fest in the Bay, so I went there with Input Club, and Ryan Norbauer was actually able to make it out to there as well. So we hung out there. Xandas versus Clear Pandas. Neither. Save your panda switches and make holy pandas.
Yeah, if I'm forced to pick, though, I think I like the Xandas more. But I don't particularly think either of them are more my style. They are both pretty tactile switches, and that's good, but I don't really care as much for like normal tactile switches. And honestly, the new updated Zelios from round 8 on, the 67 and 78 gram, have a larger and more round bump that I think is much closer to a Zonda than what a Zelios used to be. What a Zelio used to be, sorry. So I don't know. If people are trying Zondas, I'd recommend trying the new like 78 gram or 67 gram first, just to see if that might be a cheaper alternative for you.
You know what, Brian?
What, Huey?
I'm gonna order you some of these silicone brushes.
That good, huh?
Only for stabs. I wouldn't use them for anything else.
That's still fine. I need to order some brushes of a particular size.
Look at this, guys. Look at
I need
these.
to order some more 50.
Let me focus my camera.
That Rama M6 looks pretty sick. Hell yeah, dude. Rama M6. Pretty awesome. It's only a matter of time before we have a special edition Rama M6 to give away. So look forward to that if you're a supporter of Top Clack.
Give us that detailed lubing of the stab. Actually, fun fact, Ryan was actually earlier today working on the stab lab, and looks like he made some pretty good progress from some of the pics he shared with me. So that's going to be some pretty exciting stuff. What do you think, Brian? How do you think that's going to be going? Maybe in a week, maybe a little less. Just kind of
it'll be out it'll be out this coming week for sure.
Ooh, wow, that's coming soon.
Yeah. Yeah, because I already have a lot of it written. I just need to take some pictures, you know, put it all together, edit it, and then we'll be Gucci.
Ooh.
So that'll be cool, and then I can work on switches after that.
Awesome.
Right.
Bees in the trap. I asked this before, but how good was the COD 67 anodization? So as Brian and I stated on our review, we did get bee stock prototypes, and even as bee stock prototypes, IMO, pretty nice too.
Yeah, mine was the micro arc oxidation, and it was still pretty nice, like no defects.
Yes, we both have GMK cyan because we match.
Because we like to be cute.
Yeah, I know. No, you hang up first.
Okay.
What are some cool use cases for a board? So with my M6, I have volume up, volume down, mute, and page up, page down, and the Windows key. The reason I have Windows key is for in the future if I have a Win keyless board where I have blockers and I didn't reprogram a Windows key to my right alt, I still have a macro pad with a Windows key if I need it. That is actually one of the reasons I thought about it. I know some people like using it for things like OSU, and I don't know how the response rate is, but we'll see. I'm not a pro gamer by any stretch. I'm just a Huey gamer.
I thought you were a pro OSU player.
No, I'm actually a pro Genji.
Oh, true. Very true.
Is that a pro Genji?
Just like Zeal, right?
I haven't played with them for so long.
It's been a while since I played with them too. I miss Zeal. I feel like I haven't talked to him much in a while.
Oh, that's pretty.
Except I see all the baller food that he posts in the food and drink channel in Top Clack Discord.
Ooh, man, he is
unreal, man. Like,
yeah,
it's like amazing looking food, and he takes good pictures of it.
Yeah, Richmond apparently is a pretty good place to be for food.
Yeah, if you like a lot of Asian food, apparently. He says there's not very much diversity. Like, there's awesome Asian food, but like that's about it.
So Zerpocalypse says, so GMK caps fit in JTKs easier than JTK caps do. Well, that's interesting, but really the best storage for both of those is a plastic Ziploc bag.
Yeah, I need my space. Space is often at a premium for me, so I really need just plastic bags, honestly.
Maybe if I move, I will get that tray life and with a nice display, you know, look nice and cute.
Nice and kawaii.
Kawaii.
No, kawaii, because kawaii means scared.
Well, I could be both.
That's true. 42 viewers. Not too bad. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. I know it's probably late or early, depending on where you are. So hopefully you guys are enjoying yourselves, having a good time, maybe with a drink, maybe doing some keyboard work of your own. Though our sponsor GIF is not working, unfortunately, we are still sponsored by our usual array. Z Frontier, Zeal, Input Club, and Novel Keys.
I will work on a downscaled version, everyone. I promise.
Yeah, we'll get that fixed before the next show. Don't worry.
I'm pretty sure that sponsor GIF was at 60 frames per second, or whatever the max I can do for.
Yeah, it was really clean and really smooth. Radical Randy, thanks for the sub with Twitch Prime. Appreciate that, man.
So these days we're getting a lot of new subs, which is really awesome, which always makes me wonder, you know, for those of you who may have not been watching Top Clack for a while, or maybe you're newer to the community, how did you hear about Top Clack? I kind of agree with Zerpocalypse. I'm pretty sure bitrate was the issue, but, you know, I can still make a more compact GIF.
Well, yeah, but during your, you just finished a build or a design stream with Brandon where you did not have that GIF and you dropped like no frame. So
well, that's true, but I also had still the high. Yeah, so it probably wouldn't be bitrate.
Yeah, which is weird because usually bitrate is the answer. Like that's very often the problem. But yeah, oddly enough,
did you use screw-in stabs for your China board, China PCB?
Yes.
Did you have any concerns about?
No.
Okay.
It worked totally fine. It's always something in the back of my mind. I always think about it whenever I'm screwing them in. I'm like, is this going to affect it? But then I just test it outside the case, and if there is a problem, I just put a little electrical tape.
Okay. What did I think of GMK Hamon?
Hamon, yes. It's fantastic. I actually really like the colorway.
Yeah, I mean,
I know it was originally a joke, but I think it actually is.
I thought Red Samurai was the only red set I wanted because I'm not the biggest fan of the color red, but I kind of have to get.
Yeah, I'm the same. Hamon would be pretty much a must buy for me.
Let's see. People found Hugh's HHK review and suggested feeds through Rhinovid. Oh man, I was talking about this earlier. Like, it must have been such a 360, like to watch like a Rhinovid video or like a Tay Keyboards video where they have super high production quality, and then like usually a lot of my old episodes or old reviews are like on like the recommended next list, and like people go to that and the production quality is like, hey, but at least have jokes. They're not great jokes, but.
I remember they were talking about old Huey videos in the Discord earlier today.
Oh man, they're posting like the old This Week in Keyboard videos. I'm like, guys, stop. No, sir, no.
Yeah. What's funny is like how different you look, and like you change pretty radically. Like in multiple times.
Yeah, it's gonna be a nice slick haircut, and I change immediately.
Like yeah, like because like you had glasses and now you don't, and like your hair is always different. I don't know. It's pretty fun. I guess the same thing could be said about me throughout Top Clack. Because I did the opposite. I went from not having glasses to having glasses. Just refilling the alcohol, boys and girls.
Samoan, what are we building? I am building a Revo 1 with a the B-fakest of B-fakes PCB. I'm going to be using retooled blacks. Brian is half building a Wood Fox.
Yeah, which, by the way, shout out to Admiral Lolicon for saying Wood Fox, because I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah, that's
actually pretty good.
Brian,
yeah, I'm effectively building a White Fox with a wood case, but I don't have the mounting hardware, so it's not going to be screwed in. It's just going to kind of sit there for the time being, but I will have that hardware on the way because Input Club said so.
Brino, I do miss This Week in Keyboards a bit too, but the format definitely works better in Top Clack and how we do the news in Top Clack these days. Yeah, that's the main reason, because you know, Brian and I did talk about it, and like it was a good show, very informative. But we realized we could achieve the same thing through more people through Top Clack. That's kind of why it got phased out, and that's why the news segment on Top Clack really strengthened, because I introduced This Week in Keyboards when Top Clack didn't really have a news category like we do now.
No, yeah, it straight up didn't. It was primarily just an interview slash talk show. It wasn't
Yeah.
about news.
So that's why I created This Week in Keyboards. But then we noticed we started talking a lot more about news things in Top Clack. And so that's why eventually I'm like, hey guys, let's just make a news section in Top Clack. We did it, we tried it out, it worked out well, and then Brian's like, you don't need This Week in Keyboards because you're doing double work for nothing. And I'm like, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yep. And so now, Top Clack.
Yes.
We did skip a question, I believe. Mod Genius was asking Huey, what lube do you use for your Alps? I'm trying to decide between Muck Off and Finish Line, both dry lubes. Been reading reviews by cyclists, and I'm leaning towards the Muck Off. I don't know if I'm pronouncing
I am not
that
the
right.
best person to ask. In our Discord, Jay Bodson, he works at Input Club. He is an Alps enthusiast. Ask him. He's the best person to ask if you want Alps, any kind of Alps advice at all.
Yeah, Jay Bonderson, I believe, is
Jay
his
Bodson.
handle.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was such an Alps enthusiast. That makes sense though.
Yeah. He's a big Alps guy.
Because he's actually, what's his username like in the community? He's Oh Hi Mark, right?
No, that's someone else. He
Who's
is Jay
that?
Bonderson.
Oh, okay. I'm dumb. I've left off the stab areas so I can lube the stabs and put those in now.
He is known as the flower that bullies people.
The flower that bullies
Because
people. Huh? Wow.
his profile picture is like a sunflower with like sunglasses or something.
Right. Some lube here. Kind of lube up some plate mounted stabs.
Don't forget to clip him.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I could have used PCB mount.
You can, because
I can, but I think for the credibility of Input Club, I'm going to use what they provided for me.
yes. And if you haven't listened to any of my typing videos with the Night Fox, I did use the ones they include, and they're completely fine if you clip them and lube them like you would with any other stabs. They were great.
Yeah,
Check out my
these
typing
are
sense if you haven't.
yeah these are not knockoffs by the look of them. They're actually either like genuine Cherry or GMK or something.
That or just Chinese factories have got a lot. Some Chinese factories have gotten a lot better than others.
That could be it as well, which is also very fine.
Yeah.
Because any kind of competition where they actually provide a good product, hey, I'm right there.
I asked earlier, but I think you missed it. I probably did. Oh, I did miss it, so I'm sorry. I do not have the Real Force RGB still. How do the sliders compare? Unfortunately, it was so long ago in my memory, I don't really remember the quality, and that's why I didn't include it in my video when I did the JTK versus KVD fans versus Novatouch slider overview, because it was so far out of my memory. I didn't think it was fair for me to go off a really bad memory of how it was, because it's been so long since. So unfortunately, I can't give you a great answer on how they compared. I'm sorry, but I can't.
You know what I just realized?
What? Yes.
I think it's actually pointless to clip plate mount
it is, because they don't really.
because they don't hit the PCB.
But it's still good habit.
That is all right. That is a usable excuse here. I'm okay with that. And not that it's 100% necessary, but it is also good habit to get into since we're talking about that. If you have questions for us, feel free to ask using the @TopClack tag. That way we can see it a lot easier. On casual streams like this, where we tend to see a lot more of the chat, it matters a little bit less, but it's still very helpful for actually picking out questions to use that tag.
Oh shit! I need to charge my screwdriver.
Oh.
Midnight. There actually was a castle stream today. I still just need to upload the VOD. But yeah, there was not castle. Let me plug in my. Can I just plug in my screwdriver?
Oh man, are you worthless without an electric screwdriver now?
Basically, like what? Use my wrists? What am I? A normal person? I'm a Huey.
I'm a Huey.
Yes, I did see the $150 beam springs in Mech Market the other day. Yes, they are worth a lot more. Whoever bought them is going to be really happy they did. This is not a USB mini. Why did I do that? Where's my USB mini cable? Here it is. Here's one. Huey, are you a prophet? How did you know the M60 Dusk? How did you know to get M60 Dusk and somehow know Hamon would be dope as it is?
Wait,
I just know things, man.
did you get the M60 Dusk?
No,
that
I
was
didn't.
me. I was the one that got the Dusk.
Yeah, I don't know. I did not.
And I knew Hamon would be as dope as it was. This is me, not Huey. All right? Huey's not stealing my credit for this. That was all me. Right after I saw, because when I was getting my M60 Rama, I was like, "Hey Rama, like, what color is selling the worst?" And like, no hesitation, he was like, "Dusk," and I was like, "Give me that one." So that's what happened. And yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, I'm pretty stoked for it. But yeah, then April 1st, April Fools, whatever, happened, and Zabumon posted GMK Hamon as a joke, and I was like, because the previous day we were talking about Serrano, which is a dried Spanish ham, and it's awesome. I love it. I actually like it more than prosciutto. But like him and I were talking about it, and then he came up with that the next day, or whatever, and I messaged him. I was like, "Yo, that's actually a pretty good looking set. You should try and do that." And he thought I was kidding, and I was like, "No, that set is legit. Do it." Then that's kind of how that went. I need some new 5.0 sized brushes, or silicone brushes if they're super legit.
Yeah, I like them for stabs. I haven't used them for switches, but I don't think they'd be as good for switches.
Yeah, no, but yeah, the brush I'm using now, I've been using for a while, and it's at its end. I've been using it for stabs and switches. It's kind of bit the dust already.
I mean, in terms of longevity, I definitely want to keep using silicone for stabs because these are gonna last basically forever.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, one of the problems with normal brushes is the bristles just fray. The positive vibes seeped into Brian's brain. Yeah, I guess Huey was just imagining it, and somehow I understood it. I don't know. Realist09 asks, "What switches are you going to put in your M60s?" I don't know yet. It's still so far out that it's like, I don't know. Anything could change.
I'm not buying one, and as far as I know, I don't think Rama has another one to send me, so I'm not getting one.
Yeah, I'm actually paying for mine, but
Yeah.
I'm just not paying up front for it because I can't, but Rama wants to make sure I have one, which is awesome because Rama is the homie.
If I could do that and possibly pay later, I'd probably definitely consider getting one, but I cannot get one at the moment. So, and that is why I am not in the buy. Okay.
Right off the top of my head, I kind of want to put vintage blacks in it if I can find vintage blacks that are actually up to my standard. A good 95% or more of vintage blacks that I've tried have really not been nearly as good as claim they are, and it's kind of a bummer. But I have tried vintage blacks once or twice where they've actually been like pretty gosh darn supreme. And if I can get that exact experience in the M60 on that brass plate, then I think that could be a definite win for me.
Well, you can always ask Tomu and try some of his. Lol.
We'll see. If I'm gonna lube them, I'm gonna do it myself. On that caliber of board.
He's also he is straight up just like flipping Vint blacks now too. So
yeah,
he's just buying the boards to desolder the flip.
Yeah, and hey, people do that. More power to you, I guess. It just sucks because it's so hard to find vintage blacks that are good. Because if I'm like, hey, are these vintage blacks smooth? Everyone's like, yeah, they're great. And I get that, I'm like, these are not. These are not. I don't understand how anyone can say this is smooth.
Yep.
And like, it drives me nuts because then it's just a waste of money or time or both.
I mean, I'm not the biggest linear guy, and like, I'm probably not gonna like this board that much even after I break them in and lube them. And that's because if I wanted a linear board, they were really, really hard to get really, really, really good. The reason I don't like linears is because I have really high standard for linears, and like 4 boards I've ever tried met those standards. Otherwise, for me, it's like, if I'm gonna have any kind of feel, just give me a tactile then.
Fair enough.
Which is, basically an impossible thing I'm asking for. But yeah, I am asking for an impossible thing.
Neflock is asking, when you gonna do the ALF X3? Okay, so I said, so I did state this. It's fine. We have some more viewers now. New people joining. It's fine. So I stated earlier exactly why I wasn't doing the X3 today, unfortunately. Mostly because the PCB I received is a prototype of a prototype that doesn't even have a USB port on it. And the case is really, really different from the final revision, and I'm going to have to send this particular prototype back to ALF. So I kind of just decided that it wasn't going to happen tonight, because I'd have to butcher I'd have to steal a USB port from another PCB and wire it up to this one.
Also, no guarantee that would actually work either.
Yeah, like it works in theory, but I mean, I don't want to put in all that effort just to have it fail and then have to send it back. So I just chose to not do it today. There might come a time in the future where I can build it, or there might come a time in the future where I or Huey can build up one of the more final prototypes. This is like a super early version. It's very, very, very different from the final. I guess it's not very, very, but there's a lot of differences between the one I have and the final product. And I don't know. I don't want to review something or do something that's that different from the final product when I can hopefully get the final product to review and build at some point. So right now we're kind of just in limbo, waiting to see what ALF says, waiting to see what Z Frontier says.
Yeah,
and that's kind of the way it goes.
Yeah, as reviewers, it's one of the things that we have to catch for, because like, sure, it's always great to review things early, but if it's a prototype that's like too far from like the real thing, like we can't do it, or if it's like an incomplete thing. For example, some people know I actually have a Chewy 60 already. They're like, Doyu Studio, they emailed me like, hey, do you want to review the Chewy 60? I'm like, I didn't join the buy, but I did think it was awesome, even though I'm not the biggest fan of 3U split space bars. But yeah, I'll try it out. They sent me a case. No PCB. No PCB in the market supports 2 split space bars like this with this bottom row layout. I'm like, I can't do this review. I need a PCB. Like, I can't give you a review on a board unless I can build it up, because this is a keyboard. I can't type on nothing. If I did a review on the case, I would say this has a brass plate. This ring around the sides is aluminum. The bottom is acrylic. It has this brass insert in the middle. This weighs X amount. That's the review. That's all I could really tell you. The anodization feels smooth. They use countersunk Phillips head screws. That's not a review.
Yeah, I think we need more music, Huey.
Yeah, so they're gonna be sending me a thingamabob PCB. Scope, what 4 boards are you referring to?
Gio's asking, did you say you use 0.00000 size brushes? No. So it's the size I use for stabs normally, and usually switches, is 5/0. Actually, so I have them right here. This one's really old and frayed, so so it's pretty bad. I only use this one for stabs now because it's not delicate enough for switchers anymore. But I definitely prefer the 5/0 for stabs, and this one's kind of dirty. I need to wash it. This is a 10/0. This is like a much smaller size. I usually use this one for switches. You can be a lot more intricate with it. So I have some new 10/0 brushes. I don't have any new 5/0.
I turned the music a little down because Brian said it was too loud. How is it now, guys? And Scope, the 4 boards, to my standards for the linears. Actually, one of them, I don't know if Brian saw it. One of them is Brian's board, one of Brian's linears that he's lubed.
At the
Seattle. I forgot which one it was. You had a really smooth board. I forgot which one it was. Another 3, I don't really remember what they were, who they owned them. I just felt them like, okay, this is passable. Like for me, like I care about the totality of a feel. That's why I feel like for tactile switches, I usually don't lube them, because if you lube a tactile switch, you're robbing some tactility for smoothness. There's a certain level of compromise I'm okay with, but like I know a lot of people like over lubing tactile switches, which to me it's like, congratulations, you've created a smooth MX Brown.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's the problem with a lot of tactile switches that are currently on the market. But thankfully, there's a lot of switches that have been kind of coming out that that don't really suffer from the same problem when you lube them. Holy Pandas being one of them. You know, you can lube a Holy Panda and like it just doesn't matter, because the way the tactility works is just a huge round bump at the top. There's nothing to impede. It only makes it smoother. It's not like a like a Gateron Brown or like an earlier round Zelio where, you lube the legs of the slider and spring and the leaf, and it just like completely destroys the tactility. No. Like here, it actually like doesn't affect anything. Cool. And you could argue the same thing for something like Xandas, or probably even the newest round 8 and newer 67 and 78 gram Zelios. Which is really cool. I haven't tried lubing those yet, but I think I am.
I think if you lube them, they'll still be like traditional Zelios that people over lube, and I think even with that new spring design, because that just changes the preload at the beginning, but the bump is still where the bump is.
That's fair. That's why I said I was kind of uncertain about it, but I do want to try it.
It's worth trying. It is worth trying. I hope I'm wrong.
Wonder, yeah, well, I mean, there's also different lubing theories too, right? Like, when I lube a switch, whether it be linear or tactile, on tactile, if I'm gonna lube, I usually lube the leaf and the leg, because a lot of your friction and scratchiness comes during the actuation, which is the slider leg hitting the leaf and rubbing together. That's where you get a lot of that friction. So if you want like a truly smooth switch, you have to lube those parts too. So that way during the actuation, it's much smoother. And obviously on a more traditional tactile switch, when you lube those things, it covers up the tactility a bit because there's less friction because of it. But if you use like a really light coat and you're really consistent and even about it, and you use something a little bit on the lighter side, so like maybe like an oil or something similar, you can actually still achieve a smoother switch without really sacrificing too much tactility. But it is a little bit of a balancing act, and it's not always easy, especially for everyone.
It's pretty hard. I mean, so most people I know who get into lubing are typically on the newer side in the community, at least of the enthusiast part of the community. When people first discover spring swapping, they first discover lubing, people are bound to overlube, because the first thing they fall in love with is that sudden smooth feeling they've never felt before. And for a lot of people, they think it's acceptable when that overcomes a tactility, because they're like, oh, but it's so smooth now. I'm like, but you're taking away tactility, which it's fine.
It's still personable. It's still personal at that point. Like, if that's what they want, it's fine. But normally when you buy a tactile switch, you buy it because of the tactility.
Yep.
So you don't really want to remove that unless you just happen to prefer the feeling of reduced tactility, which may be the case for some people. a lot of people are like, hey, like Zelios are just too tactile for me. You know, it's not terribly common, but I have heard that on more than one occasion. They're like, hey, Gateron Browns just work better for me. Okay, you know, it's fine. It's preference. It's just like liking lighter, heavier springs. You can like more or less tactile switches.
Yep.
Totally fine.
Overlubed Topra, they're great. Only if you overlube with thin lube.
Yeah. I mean, the cool, and like we were saying earlier, like Topra is one of the things that you can kind of overlube and it doesn't matter, because unlike a lot of MX switches, by design, you know, lubing the slider rails and stuff, none of that affects tactility because all your tactility comes from your dome. So as long as you're not altering that dome, then you're still going to have the same tactility no matter how much lube you apply to the slider. Or rails. Usually you lube the rails of a Topra. Are you planning on trying out the tangerines, Brian? Yeah, hopefully myself and or Huey can try out the tangerines. I have a hunch that they're going to feel just like the other Gateron linears, just with a gold 67-gram spring, which is fine. That's kind of my hunch. I think the aesthetic of them is kind of the whole purpose of them. Hopefully, they'll be accessible, inexpensive, and you know, I think they look really cool. I said it on the last episode of Top Clack when we were talking about them. They're very pretty. I'd like to use them in something. They're kind of that color is kind of themed after the Hirose switches.
Ooh, PCB mount feels good.
PCB mount switches or stabs?
Switches. I finished with the stab lubing.
And still amidst lubing my stabs, because it usually takes me a while, but I already have almost all of my switches in, so all I really have to do after this is solder. But of course I gotta stop for alcohol breaks.
Hey, my man Mart, welcome.
What's up, my dude? Glad to see you can make it. And to the rest of you that are all here chilling out with us,
Yeah,
hope you're enjoying your night. Just remember, there is no end game. There is an end game, but nobody knows what it is because you have to try everything ever that exists to know what your true end game is.
To know your end game, you must know yourself.
Well, you have to know how much you have to know what everything feels like and how much you like everything. That's the problem. See, when people are like, "Oh, here's my end game," and they post a keyboard, it doesn't even matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's a stock poker or like a super high-end custom with super custom hybrid tuned switches and you know, unicorn stabs and gasket mount fucking butter and I don't. It doesn't matter. Like, unless you've tried everything, you don't know what you like out of everything.
Well,
so how can you have a finalized end game board without knowing what everything feels like?
I mean, isn't like getting married at some point you have to settle?
I mean, I think end game is a pretty
It's a pretty bad term, actually.
It's a bad term, but it's also a very defined term. I don't think there's a lot of flexibility on what it means. So I honestly think I'm incredibly correct about it, and anyone who says endgame is just what they like the most at that time is kind of, in my opinion. because if
Ooh, I like from 11, 22, 27. Endgame is a choice. It's giving up.
yeah, that's totally true. Endgame is not a good thing. I mean, we're all students here. It's all part of the journey, man.
The journey.
Like where you end up, you'll never know, because like you have to know like where you'll stop.
Neflock.
But even if you stop, like you don't, doesn't mean you achieved endgame.
Yep. Neflock is
It just means you found what you want to use like the most at that moment, and you're not willing to put in any more effort to find something that you very could likely like more.
Yeah.
And that's what's sad about people talking about endgames so often in RMK and stuff. Anyways, what were you saying? I cut you off a couple times.
No worries. No, it's okay. Neflock was asking, what's in the glass tonight?
What's in the glass? I will show you in just a second.
And to answer, mouse is fine. I would choose a box jade over Zeal Stados. The reasons are, if you care about consistency, box jades are just going to be consistent, because the thing about doing the Aristotle switches, when they're manufactured with very poor tolerances, so there's a lot of variation in even the click between switch to switch. Even if you have the housing and the spring the same for switch to switch, they're all different, recognizably so. Yeah, and these days I've been liking the click bar mechanism much more, because the issue with the original click jackets is you will have that click jacket rattle. That's just an inherent part of having a click jacket switch. And for some people are okay with that. Some people that really bothers them. So that's something else to consider. For those reasons, I would definitely say consider going Jades, and if you want something heavier, than navies. Although I do like Jades more than navies. By a wide margin, actually.
Wow, by a wide margin. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. I appreciate your individuality. I love them both, probably pretty equally.
Like, when I sold my M65, I could have desoldered it. But I'm like, I feel nothing if I lose these switches.
Oh, that's right, they were navies. That's right. Yeah. I don't know. I've really enjoyed my time with both of them, honestly. Yeah, like Huey said, I think that for me, like the rattle was a big thing. Like you don't really notice the you notice the rattle on click jacket switches, but once the click bar switch mechanism started becoming popular because of Kale, that's when I noticed how much I prefer it over the click jackets. Like the click jackets just sound wrong now; they sound inconsistent. They sound like echoey and rattly and just overall kind of poor quality. So yeah, like Jades and Navies are just so much cleaner sounding. And I really appreciate that. It's just so much more pure of a click. So much more consistent, so much more tuned. I don't know. Anyway, sorry, what's in my glass? I am drinking, finish up this not one last, but this one I'm on, that stabilizer. And I will show you my bottles. All right, so I have tonight, in my whiskey glass, I have Ghost Owl Rye. This is out of somewhere in Oregon, I think. Okay, so that's actually kind of ironic. Okay, so this is out of Portland. This is pretty good. I don't actually like their normal whiskey. I like their rye a lot, though. And then my beer, ironically enough, this is totally a coincidence, is also out of Portland, Oregon. This is called Wonderlust IPA from Breakside Brewing. This is definitely a top 3 IPA. You get the violets. They are really nice. Yeah, I mean, they're not clicky, but they're nice. I have the violets in this keyboard you see up here with my Clipe case and GMK Cyan. I got an acrylic top Clack plate in there. It's pretty awesome.
Oof.
Those should hopefully be available in the pretty near future. But I have Hako Violets on here, and actually, I'm liking them a lot. They're not even as light feeling as I was expecting them to be. I'm finding them totally easy to type on, but not too light for me.
That's funny. I thought they were too light, but I got used to them, and they grew on me. Initially I did not like violets initially.
Yeah, but it's a pretty nice switch. The tactility is still like that top curve, kind of like reminiscent of Topra. Very similar to Hako clears and trues. They have that kind of like wide bubble bump at the top. These ones feel a little bit more tactile than clears and trues, just because they have the lighter spring. But it's not like super in your face. Like it's there, but it's not super in your face, which I kind of like. It's different, unique, and they're pretty smooth too. The White Fox is programmable via the same means that I downloaded for the K-type, right?
Yep, same exact way.
Oh man, okay, that's pretty cool.
Right.
That was,
I like that
yeah.
platform.
I mean, I didn't like that I had to like download multiple things and stuff.
So,
That felt,
Jeremy,
but once it's set up, it is.
So Jeremy was actually talking. He's working on a way. You know that step you did for the Zadig?
Yeah.
He's working on getting that integrated with the installer for KLL.
Okay, that would be quite a bit better. Not that Zadig is hard to use or anything, but it is still extra time. It's an extra step.
Yeah.
And anytime you can make things more convenient, usually it's a good idea.
So he is working on integrating that in to be done for you.
That would be quite nice. I would appreciate that.
Okay, one last switch in, and I can get soldering. This looks really clean, though. The black PVD with the MX blacks.
Oh, yeah.
I'll hold up to the camera
Actually,
in a second.
Yeah, one of the reasons I wanted you to do that is because I actually wanted to see that combo. Let me know when you're holding it up to the camera so I can switch to the stream.
Okay, I'm holding it up to the camera now. Ooh. Oh, look at this, guys. Oh.
Ooh, that is pretty nice, too. I like that. You should have cleaned the brass plate before putting switches in.
Nah, dude, I'm raw.
Raw dogging it. Oh man, that's right. You kind of want to mod box whites into jades, so I avoid the slider color. Interesting. You don't like the jade? I like the jades, but I guess white is a little bit more neutral. Go with more things.
I actually love the Hako clear slider when it's like opaque. It's like not completely opaque, like the white, but it has like a little bit of see-through to it. So it's like, ooh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks good. Monochrome slider. Hey man, I don't blame you, man. I'm kind of the same way in a lot of ways. I don't mind the jade color though. Pretty unique. Just doesn't really go with anything. But like then again, like once you put caps on, like what does it really matter?
I don't care about slider color, so
it's like PCB color. Like unless you're using a housing where you like specifically see the PCB like a lot, like,
or a plate that you can see the PCB. That can be some Swiss hole kind of plates. You know, you can see it on the bottom row, PCB.
Yeah,
and by
that's
split
true.
shifts.
But usually, once you have the caps on, it's not as bad. I don't know, man. This hobby is kind of silly, anyways. To be totally honest, so it's not really that bad to argue about silly things like that.
Okay.
Like we're all here because of keyboards. Like 35 plus viewers right now are watching us build keyboards. Come on.
Opinions on the Royal Hakos. I've only made one. I haven't made more, and I don't like giving opinions on Switches unless I have a full board to type them on, so you probably won't hear that until, Royals come out and I can make my own Frankenboard myself. So. Yeah,
kind of my opinion on it too. I actually haven't tried to make any hybrid Royal or Hako Switches yet. That is something I will be trying once I'm able to get some more Royals.
I have no clue where my solder stand went. Oh, here it is. Whew. Phew. Time to get soldering. Gonna show off how fast this solders to convince everyone to buy it one of these days. Because a lot of you already have. Why do I have it at 340? I want it to be at 360, 350.
I'm gonna wash my hands real quick.
Let's get soldering. Well, that's fair. FX88D is a good choice. Even like as a iron to keep at your desk, TS100 is great. It's actually good for people who want to go to meetups and do like soldering demonstrations. IMO. So when I do, man, when I do go to lube these, should I do switch films as well, or do you think it won't really matter since it's a linear, not a tactile?
Are you using stickers or films?
Films.
Well, I think it. So I actually still haven't used any of the films, even though I have some. I'll probably use them on my retooled blacks. But so I'm not really sure like how effective they are, but I would imagine that they would make the most difference on linears. I don't know. Maybe I'm just because I'm a linear guy. Alright, putting these lube stabs in now. Very nice too. Come on, go in. There we go.
I'll give you guys a Huey solder cam.
You know, I don't know why I didn't do this when I just washed my hands, but I'm gonna go pee real quick. That's inefficient.
Double washing. Can you guys see this all right?
Alright, got my stabilizers in. Gonna put these last couple switches in, then I'm gonna solder up Buttercup.
Yeah. Oh, Overkill says he ran into his first real hacker in Overwatch, as opposed to the several dozen fake ones we play with.
Yeah. What is he doing up this late? The heck? Isn't that really late for him?
It's same time as us, because Arizona.
Oh, well,
I mean,
still.
I guess it is
for
still late because he is a a father, but
a family man. But it is also Friday, so I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, I don't think kids take a break for Saturday. If anything, I think kids
What?
like turn up even harder
okay.
on Saturdays.
That's yeah. It's gonna go through and make sure all of these pins are through before I begin soldering. If you guys didn't believe we were weebs before listening to this music, well, there you go.
Yes.
Alright, all pins present and accounted for. Again, looks good. The white fox plate is, well, actually, one of the benefits of using a white fox plate is there's no other layouts you can use. Like, you buy a specific plate and it has that layout. So, like, I don't run any risk of having switches be, like, either in the wrong place or, like, really, like, wobbly. Because there's only one spot for each of them. So thankfully, all these are really, really snug. So that's definitely one of the benefits of using the white fox there. I like that. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and drink some more than solder.
Brandon wants to stay up so he can see how your stabs turn out.
How my stabs? What?
How your stabs turn out.
Why would my stabs be bad? I lubed them properly. I lubed them. They're not going to be bad. I'm not even going to test them. I'm going to solder them in before I test them.
Oh, you're going to do the Kiwi method?
That's how confident I am that they're going to be okay.
Good.
Although on plate mount, it's a lot easier to fix them because you only have to desolder one switch per stab as opposed to desoldering like half a board or all of a board. I mean, I'd love to fully test the board, but you know, the company that sent me this didn't send me the mounting hardware for it, which is really unfortunate. Just kidding. I love you guys. Actually, not that it's a big deal, Brandon. It's really not. But if possible, could I get the normal aluminum White Fox bottom as well as the mounting hardware? Because I didn't get the bottom with this one, which is fine. If you guys have none to spare, I don't care. That's fine. But it'd be kind of nice to have the choice between the two if possible. Again, either way, totally fine.
He will check the warehouse.
Cool. It'd be a nice benefit, nice bonus, but I'm not worried either way. I imagine I'll probably keep the wood case on just for the novelty of it, if nothing else, and the portability, travelability, protectability. Alright, I'm gonna begin soldering now. Take too long. The pads on the White Fox PCB are pretty good. Solder takes to them pretty well.
Yeah. He said they packed all the kit to separate so you can order individual parts. So it looks like they can get you a individual bottom. You can do you should consider doing a black White Fox.
Oh, that could be interesting, I guess. No, I think I'd rather have. That's tough. I think I'd rather have the matching, honestly. That's pretty cool though. Yeah, if I could get a normal bottom, White Fox bottom along with the mounting hardware, that'd be.
You should? Maybe. No, I'd probably keep it all one color.
Yeah. I don't think I want the Night Fox bottom unless I also had the Night Fox plate. But I'm cool. I'm cool with the White Fox. Either way, it's cool. Good stuff. But you know me, I'm just trying to be greedy. You know, live that sponsor life. Wow. This White Fox PCB is like, the pads on these are actually really good. Like after soldering that Chinese PCB, like the stabs on this, or the pads on this, quite a bit nicer. Yeah, that's what I did too. Like it's totally still usable either way. It just takes a little bit more time. Once again, shout out to all the people watching. Appreciate it. I know it's late or early, depending on where you are. If it was black top and silver bottom, a little bit cooler. Yeah, probably. Look at Overkill shilling for us. Donate. Sub. Yes. I mean, it's no surprise that we appreciate all the subs and donations because they really do all go to benefit Top Clack in one way or another. So we definitely appreciate it. We will have some giveaways soon. I know it's been a while. We've kind of been slacking, but we have some pretty good things to give away coming up. Trust me on that. Five p.m. That's probably ahead because, you know, we're always by. Where are you? Where is? Where's 15 hours ahead? I don't know. 5 p.m. I don't know, man. I don't think anywhere in Europe is that far ahead. Oh, Australia. Okay. Huh. Must be a very interesting spot in Australia because I know Rama is in Australia and he's like 8 or 9 hours ahead. So you must be in a place than that. Yeah, I'm digging the violets, honestly. I'm liking them more than I thought I would. Clears are still my number one. Although, this will be my first full board with Hako Trues. So once I get some time into that, I'll be able to make a decision. But I do still prefer the clears over the violets, but I do like them both. The clears are just such a nice weighting for. Yes. Yep. Yep. Exactly. All right, you're a wee bit ahead of me, but that's per the norm. Yeah. Well, as per the norm, you'll probably have some kind of issue because that's how it always goes. You beat me to soldering, but you always have an issue. That's always your starting issue, but then you have a more major issue. That's true. I'm 2 rows into my White Fox. Sir Apocalypse says, "Thank you once again for the Hako switches. Considering buying an ortho with them or doing royal Hakos, the violets are just so nice."
Oh yes,
yeah, the violets are pretty legit, honestly.
I was muted, by the way. Might be.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, we're on Discord. On OBS.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because I have those as separate
Yep.
thingamabobs.
Yep. I never know when you're muted.
No, you do not.
Because Discord.
Oh my god. The Chinese are great.
What?
The default FN layer for this is HHKB. For the HHKB arrows. The default FN layer for this China PCB.
Interesting. I don't know if mine was or not. I didn't really check that.
Ooh, the only thing they didn't have is my win keyless, my right Windows key. Otherwise, everything was programmed exactly how I'd want it to be. Brian talking to Huey mute is like reading Garfield minus Garfield.
That's great. How long were you muted for?
Only. I mean, I was muted for a while, but we only spoke that one sentence, really. Hold on. Let me. Sorbet thing. I should put sorbet thing in this, right?
Try it without first, maybe. I mean, the Revo case is pretty thick. I don't think you're gonna have much. I don't know. Usually you want to use stuff like Sorbethane in a board where you don't want to hear what the stock board sounds like. But you might be pleasantly surprised by the way it sounds without the Sorbethane. But I don't know. That's just me. That's what I would do. I would try it without first and then put it in if I needed to.
Oh yeah, this doesn't come with screws, so I need to grab my own screws. No, those are springs. I need to buy an assortment tray of M screws.
Same.
Sure, this will work. Fortunately, I just have a ton laying around for reasons. Is Sorbethane much different from other foam? Yeah, it's pretty thick, to be honest. It works really well. I like it.
It's much thicker and it's not foam. Like it's
like rubber. It's closer to rubber.
Yeah. It's a lot more dense.
Well, these aren't
solid.
magnetic. Never mind, not using those. Plank stuff. Don't need that. Nope. Nope. Too long. Oh wait, I have just my old Zeal 60% screws because Zeal is so awesome because he ships screws with his Zeal 60 PCBs.
Wow, I actually didn't know that. That's pretty smart.
Yeah, he
ships
gold.
Nobody else does that.
He just ships gold screws.
That's awesome.
So
that's actually really awesome.
Yeah, maybe my thing was demagnetized. I'm gonna try those screws again. These aren't magnetized. I'm not going to use them. Screw that. Beep beep. My phone has 5% battery. Rip.
Alright, just the bottom row left. I'm almost done, boys and girls. Oh yeah, there's no screw in the middle of the Revo case. Weird. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That was kind of strange.
Guess I'm done. I'm gonna clean up and put some caps on.
I am, in theory, done soldering. I always say in theory, because I never know what's going to happen. I'm pretty confident, so...
Usually I give chat choices about what keycaps I'm gonna put on, but you guys know what's gonna happen for this pink board. There's only one choice of keycaps.
No, there's more than one. But
Actually,
you're gonna go with you're gonna go with a very good one.
Actually, cyan would look amazing on this board.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, a non-shined spacebar. It looks so weird. It's like porcelain.
Ew. Ew. But ew. Well, the bad news here is I have no mounted hardware, as you might have known if you tuned in earlier in the show. The good news is that makes me finishing this keyboard on stream really easy, because all I do is this.
Very
nice. I'm done. I am done. Oh man, that's funny. Oh, I have to push it down.
You also could put on keycaps.
I will put on keycaps, actually. Yeah, I was being a little sarcastic.
Actually, before I finish, I'm gonna be RB in like literally under 3 minutes. Brian knows. Whenever I take Georgia out for the quickest walk in the world, it's.
Oh yeah, you're good. Yeah,
it's after that.
All right, so this wood case does make the White Fox slightly more high profile. I still wouldn't call it high profile, but it's not exactly low profile either. Towards the middle. So there's a friction fit keyboard. Actually, what's funny is like you're kind of right. This fit was a little tighter than I was expecting. I thought I was just going to like sit in, but it totally just sits in like and fits pretty nice. There's very minimal flex or sliding out there. So what's funny is this is actually going to be totally usable even without the mounting hardware. Although the mounting hardware is obviously very, very, very recommended. Probably put these. Use a little bit more scotch and a little bit more. Actually, scotch. I apologize for that. This is rye. A little bit more rye and then a little bit of beer. I will throw some keycaps on. Hopefully everyone in chat is doing just fine. I noticed a pretty noticeable loss in viewers, but I imagine that's because that's our US viewers going to sleep. That would make the most sense to me because it's past midnight in the US. On the West Coast, so on the East Coast, past 3 a.m. So a lot of people are probably going to sleep now, even though it's Friday because it's late.
Yes.
So that's why we have a little bit of dip in viewers. Brian says Brian Cash S wipes. Now that was just a card, like a credit card, but it wasn't a credit card. I use that to clean off the flux that splatters on my desk. It's really, really, really efficient, actually.
Brandon wants you to put a spacebar on first so you can hear the tippy taps, so you can go to bed.
Okay.
So
Sorry,
that means you need to do it last.
I'll do it first because I'm a nice guy, but it won't sound the same with just the spacebar as it will with all the keycaps on because the noise will resonate differently. But I will still do the spacebar first. So let me catch up on some questions here. The Sweaty Yeti asks, I think I heard you guys say in another stream I could link my Twitch chat and my Discord. If so, how do I do that? I don't see any problem with that. If you want to link them, just
link your Twitch and Discord for the purple in our Discord. If you go to Twitch integrations, you can integrate. On Discord settings integrations, you can sync your Twitch with your Discord account. So then, if you are sub to us, it'll show you as a sub on our Discord.
Yeah, you have to link that on Discord, and the bot I think resyncs it every hour or something like that.
Every hour.
So it won't happen automatically. It might take up to an hour. But yeah, then that'll happen. Overkill says, "God damn it, Brian! How long does it take you to solder a PCB? I bet I can solder. I bet if I can solder faster than you can. How about that?" Briano1905 says, "Have you seen Laser's colors? What do you think?" We have actually. We had Mito on stream last week with a bunch of awesome European folks that were in Germany for some things. So that was pretty fun.
This is coming along pretty nicely.
I thought the laser colors were nice. I think Laser is a very cool and intriguing set. Not necessarily my style, but still pretty good. Turn off my soldering iron for now.
This is like a brand new set. I almost never use this set. Like almost none of the keys have shine. Feels so weird.
Overkill, don't worry. It'll take me a while to put on keycaps because it always does.
Oh wait, this is the J-Chan PCB and a J-Chan plate, so I can only use normal caps. Duh.
Oh yeah, feels kind of bad, man.
Rev 1.
Yeah, Rev 1.
I should get a carbon plate. Carbon fiber one.
Yeah, I need more carbon fiber in my life as well. Six-Fingered Amish is asking, Brian, was your favorite Seattle beer? Can't say Fremont. That's fine, because I do like several of Fremont's beers. Well, a couple of them. The rest of them, I think, are pretty mediocre at best. Favorite Seattle beer? That is hard to say. I like a lot of the ones that are not actually in Seattle, but are either outside of Seattle or closer to me. I like Top Cutter IPA, which is by Bale Breaker Brewing. That is not in Seattle, but it's still in Washington. We have a brewery by me called Sound Brewery, which is also not in Seattle, but I really like a couple of their beers. Sound Brewery does one called Bombshell Blonde. It's kind of like a Belgian inspired blonde, and it's very nice. Yeah, I don't know. I pretty much always drink local or local-ish. Like this one's out of Oregon, but that's even still kind of rare for me. I tend to stay as local as I can. But I also like Georgetown in Seattle. If I have to pick something out of Seattle, I really like Georgetown. They do an IPA called Lucille. That's really, really, really good.
I think the music is over or paused because I'm almost done for typing sounds. And you're probably around there too.
Ooh. I mean, maybe still put something on. You know me, it takes me 10 minutes to put caps on because I'm bad. Although I guess these are all kind of laid out already, so it makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, they're kind of laid out in a row. They're actually getting them out of the rows is like the most annoying thing. But
Yeah, this should be okay. I should be able to do this.
thank you, Sweaty Yeti, for the bits, my dude. Keycaps are on. Let me just clean these keycaps up. Let me clean my station up. You know, put all these soldering stuff away, put the screwdrivers and stuff away, and put everything away, and then I'll get going since Brian has to put on keycaps anyways.
That is correct. So, Huey, the real question:
Yes,
are we gonna play some Iron Sight after this?
I am down the clown.
Down to clown. All right.
Oh, I have like, man, actually, I could probably finish like 2 videos tomorrow, but I can't. Because I actually have to like work on stuff for my future, which sucks. I mean, not sucks, but it's just time.
Oh well. I think I speak for everyone. Say that you do what you gotta do. Nobody can fall your foot. I'm gonna flip my spacebar, of course. I know Brandon wanted to hear the spacebar. That's what it sounds like. I'll try to hit it louder. This is unnecessarily loud by a lot, just so Brandon can hear it maybe a little bit closer. It would never be that loud during actual typing sessions. Put it up to the mic. Why do you care so much about the spacebar, man? Here. This is what it'll sound like during my normal use, because this is how I hit the spacebar normally. You type hard. Yeah, that's pretty loud, right? I mean, that's significantly harder than I'd ever hit the spacebar.
Here's mine loud. That's also the POM, not PBT. So it's actually a bit higher pitch than it would normally be,
Yeah.
probably.
PBT makes it PBT is a bit denser of a plastic, so it makes it a little bit more subdued, a little bit more muted, a little bit more absorbed. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I actually really like the way Input Club has these keycaps packaged. This is pretty convenient, I'm not gonna lie.
You cut one end off and slide them out.
Yeah,
that's what I did.
This is pretty nice. If, like, for me, like I know probably a lot of you have seen other build streams where I put keycaps on boards. It's not fun to watch because I take forever because I'm really bad at it and I don't really care. But this is pretty efficient. And I'm hauling ass in comparison to how I normally am. Sweaty Eddie, thanks for all the bits, man. Appreciate it. I know you've donated quite a bit.
Yeah, you're quite the supporter, and we definitely appreciate that.
Don't think we don't see that. We do, and we appreciate it. Is that a wood case? Yes, this is the Datamancer White Fox wood case. I don't know exactly what kind of wood this is. Overkill in chat might be able to answer, as he is part of Input Club. Probably not walnut. Looks a little too bright to be walnut. Maple? I don't know. Looks a little too light to be maple too, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm not a wood expert at all, so don't take my advice for it. Hopefully Overkill can answer that question. No idea, it's wood. Wow. What a letdown for people that actually care. Maybe we can ask one of the more competent Input Club members. Actually, I'm really starting to like the way this is looking. More than I thought I would.
I'm having trouble with my bootmapper client connecting to the PCB. I wonder why.
Oh, because Top Clack! This has to happen every build stream.
I mean, I don't have to reprogram it because it's just my right Windows key, which I don't care about, I never use, but...
Yeah. That's odd. So, yeah, so when I used my first of this batch of PCBs, I had no issues at all. It connected right up to bootmapper client. I just programmed it like I normally would.
Who knows, man? Last time this happened, I just switched USB ports and it worked fine.
Feels typical Huey.
Yeah, dude, feels Huey. Oh, wait, now I've plugged in one where it says setting up PS2 AVRGB. Okay, let's try.
Oh, that sounds more promising.
Hold on, let me try.
I'm pretty sure Fate just likes to give you a little bit more to do while I put keycaps on.
Okay, now it works. I had to do a different USB port for whatever reason.
And coincidentally enough, I'm basically done putting keycaps on.
Cool, let me just get this... I don't know what
this
so this is also an FN in the bottom row, which I need to change to be... Where's the other FN in this layout? God dang it. Left shift, left control. That's fine. So that goes that way. That's right control. What the heck? Left alt. I'm gonna guess this one. Nope. Okay. So that's still, that didn't change it. Where's where I'm looking for more FNs in my layout that I can just straight up change. How about it's one of these two? Let's guess this one. This layout actually makes very little sense in bootloader client, how I see it. Oh dang it! I chose poorly.
Uh-oh.
It's okay. I see it. Switch one of my FNs and I'm done. So make that FN and then make this one our GUI. I hit that upload Reno. I'm done. I'm actually officially completely done now.
Okay, there you go. Good. I am done as well. I mean, I haven't programmed it, but I imagine default layout will be totally fine. But I'll probably program it later if I need to. You know, your boy Quake has a huge glass of water on standby because staying hydrated is important, especially when you're drinking. I am. Speaking of, cheers to all of you people that are still here or just joining us. We appreciate it a lot. Hopefully you're enjoying a tasty beverage as well. And maybe you just built a sweet keyboard like Kiwi and I just did. Exactly. Your boy, foreign big brother. Know it.
Yeah, this sounds pretty alright. There's some scratchiness I hear, but you know, that's just normal. Cherry needs to be broken in. As like brand new switches for Cherry, they're alright. Here, you guys want?
Yeah, why don't you? You do a typing test. I'll mute myself. Then we'll swap. We'll like clean up a little bit.
Okay, guys. As you can see, I always hold it. You know, one of these in length, one of these, That's where my microphone is, and I will give you guys a little Typerino Testerino. How about that? Oh, that's what it sounds like. I don't know how it sounded to you guys, but it sounded exactly how I thought it would sound. I don't really think it needs this Orbithane, so I probably won't put it in.
Kind of what my theory was too. Sorbethane only helps on like thinner cases, low profile cases, stuff like that.
Like my Night Fox, that was like night and day.
It really was a major difference. The Night Fox is a much thinner aluminum case, and it is low profile as well. I mean, it's also much cheaper, but
Yeah.
that tends to be how it works. All right, I'm gonna hook up my White Fox USB 3C cable here. If I can put it in the hole, guys.
How is that cable? Because that doesn't look like a normal OEM cable.
No, it's pretty nice. So it's I think they have this or similar on the round one as well. They had this kind of blue and white braided cable. If I can focus, Jesus. It's pretty nice. It feels strong. It's a nice braided cable. USB-C, of course. Go ahead and plug that in.
Time to update my keyboard tracker now that I've built this. This is the Revo 1 Revo team. This is now built. I can take the unbuilt tag off. Switch name.
Setting up keyboard White Fox. All right, I like when it says that.
Black, Cherry MX Black retooled, MX Black, and then retooled in paren. Spring weight, stock for now. Lube used, none for now. Stickered filmed, none. Stabilizers, screw in PCB mounts. Plate mount method tray, switch top removal, yes. Plate material, brass. Case aluminum, brass inserts, no. PCB, China B.fake. Layout 60%. When keyless bottom, when keyless. And splits are shifts. Human pink color, keycaps, GMKKA 2017. Internal silencing, none. I do, so there's two categories I want to add now. One is, shit, I forgot what the other one was. One of them I wanted to add was weights. So I do want to add weights for every single board I have, because people care about that. So I will give them that information, and myself. There's something else I wanted to add I thought of earlier today. I'm not sure what it was.
All right, all of my switches work perfectly. They are being registered, and the layout is really close to what I want. The PCB looks like by default considers a split backspace as the correct backspace, which I cannot fault it for.
Oh, I mean,
I'll have to switch that to my normal backspace.
3 pounds, 11.3 ounces.
I'm not going to weigh mine because I know it's going to be light, and people are going to be like, "Oh, that's too light."
No, I think people are kind of understandable when it comes to that keyboard.
Yeah, I mean, it's a wood case, guys. Aluminum plate wood case. Can't be heavy. That's not how this works.
Kilograms.
With some sorbethane in those slots. Okay, actually, my Sorbethane go? I brought out Sorbethane. Where did I put it? That is a real question.
Okay, it is 1.686 kilograms, Rhino, over in Australia. Hopefully that's a bit more tangible for you in terms of weights.
Probably up my butt again. It's actually not. It's not up my butt, believe it or not. It's right here. It was down to the bottom left of where I'm sitting. So I will do a little typing test in just a moment without the Sorbethane. Then I will do another typing test with the Sorbethane. Yes, that'll be that. I just need a little bit of alcohol first. And yeah. Are you doing anything, Huey, important on screen right now? Weighing things?
No. I just finished weighing. And I've updated my...
People might give a damn about how much it weighs. I don't know. Just I think it's a good habit to get into weighing keyboards because a lot of people are into that.
Yeah. I've added to my spreadsheet for the weight, and I need to get weights for all my keyboards. I guess since I have time.
So I'm going to go ahead and weigh mine. This Wood Fox is currently 1 pound 3 ounces, which is, if I remember correctly, just slightly heavier than an HHKB. Let me switch units for you non-American people. It's at 538 grams. Let me readjust this cable to make sure it's not being interfered with. Okay, so it's 547 grams, 1 pound, 3.3 ounces. With the top on, which adds, I mean, if I'm being honest, basically nothing.
Has magnets. Magnets weigh a little bit.
That's true. Oh, yeah, okay, it did. It's 1 pound, 8.5 ounces now, or 694 grams. So it adds a little bit, but obviously you're not gonna use the top while typing, guys. That's pretty obvious. And put my scale away, then I'll do a brief typing test both with and without Sorbethane. So I know people might care about that. I probably will care about that because, you know, Sorbethane in a wood case. But first, I must tease you and then take a quick pee because I'm drinking a lot of water and beer and whiskey. So I'll be right back.
How is that human colored? The pink? I don't know. It is. So I just did my typing test. I did put it away. I am going to be doing a typing sounds video to put on YouTube, but I'm not going to be using it immediately to break in. Until the end of the weekend, I'm still going to be using my box royals to finish up their review scripts. After this weekend, though, I'll be back to swapping boards, nilly willy, and silly. So I do plan on using this a lot so I can break in these retooled blacks. Fortunately, this plate does allow for switch shot removal, so once I break these in, I can, you know, take out the tops, lube it, and then see if I'm good to go. Might swap spring weights too, but MX Cherry Blacks are pretty okay on spring weight. It's a pretty good combo, this pink with pink. You know, pink and human. Not too shabby, if I say so myself. Ooh, I have an SD card in this time, guys, so I could take a picture.
All right, where are we at? What are you up to?
Not much, showing off the keyboards, and I'll explain to people. I'm gonna be using the box royals until the end of the weekend, so I can finish the review scripts. But then after that, I can go back to swapping boards willy-nilly as I wish. So I won't have a chance to start wearing these in until I have time for it.
Nice. Actually, this is kind of ironic. So I went to pull out my normal wrist rest to use with this to give a little bit of a sound test
It's
while
pretty
typing.
low. The keyboard. Sorry, go on.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. The keyboard is flat. There's no feet to prop it up
See,
at the bottom.
that's why I like the aluminum case. The aluminum case is cone feet at least.
Yes, which is also part of the reason why I would like a normal aluminum bottom as well, because I don't typically like typing on flat keyboards. But I went to grab my normal wrist rest as soon as I got back from, draining the old main vein. And then I saw the top of the case, and I realized that people have said that the top can be used as a wrist rest. And so I'm in that honor there. I'm going to try to use the top as a wrist rest during this typing test. So let me give you a quick typing test. This is without sorbethane.
So you will still hear me, but I'm muted on stream.
Perfect. All right. So, the heck? Why is my control key saying it's constantly held down? I don't know if that's aqua key test or not. Anyways, here's a little typing test. I did not mute myself, but it's actually a lot quieter than I was expecting. Let me move my mic closer. Yeah, actually, this is much quieter than I was expecting. Let me know if this doesn't pick it up. Really? Oh man, that's epic. This is surprisingly quiet. Let me I don't know, let me lower my noise gate on Skype. Yes. Oh yeah. I do have a pretty high I do have a fairly high noise gate. Okay, let me drastically lower it. All right, here. Let me see if you can hear this. All right, so that is without the sorbethane. It's actually fairly quiet IRL. Way different than how I was expecting it to sound, honestly, because normally wood cases are, well, frankly, just bad when it comes to sound. It sounds incredibly hollow. The benefit to this one is that it's using Hako true switches, which if you haven't used box switches or a lot of the newer Kale switches, they actually have a fairly muted like thud when they bottom out. They're not really like loud like a lot of Gateron or Cherry MX style switches. So that could definitely be part of the reason. I have Hako Trues in here, so it's going to be less oomph when I bottom out.
To answer six-fingered Amish, Brian is using Cherry Profile. Those are die-subbed Cherry Profile PBT keycaps.
Yeah.
I haven't fully decided, Sheen, but I'm probably gonna go with that die cut for Shiro. I think that's gonna be the best. Cause I have some other ones that would work really well, but for me, like, there's some pretty high value slaps that like I wouldn't want to put on a not as high value board. This one's pretty good too, though. I guess I've had two choices. Shiro, where did you go? I just put you away for some reason. See, I don't know which slap or die cut I'll be going with for this case yet. This one does seem to be pretty nice. even though the English is very Chinglish. But the Shiro is nice because the Shiro has kind of like a pink tone to it, and it's a die cut, so like obviously no white background. It'll just be the peak. So the question I have about the peak is, do I do it so if I do the keyboard this way you see Shiro, or do I just do it as a straight turn it back and she is on the from the bottom? Or whichever one that had the girl with her mouth open. I think I know which one you're talking about.
Hmm. 600 Amish says lightning round, box royals or Zelios. They're both good for different reasons. It's not really comparable. If I had to, I haven't used a full board of royals, so I can't even make the comparison, unfortunately.
For my personal use,
Yeah, you actually might be able to answer that somewhat well, better than the rest of us at least.
depends on the rest of the build. They're different enough because there's almost like a roughness to the royals that is kind of unexpected.
It is, yeah. No, I know
like-
exactly what you mean there.
Even though they're box switches, and we always say box switches are smooth, I honestly think Zelios, even stock, are smoother than box royals because of how they've implemented that tactility. So it's like-
Undoubtedly.
so it's like
I would, yeah.
It feels weird when you have a box switch that isn't smooth, and that's what royals are. To be perfectly honest, that's what they feel to me. And I feel like because when they made that leaf bigger, they didn't factor in how to make it smoother. So it's not.
Yeah. It's realistic. It's understandable. Do I put some sorbitane in here and try it out? Is that something that people are interested in?
Just do that, and then I think that'd be a good place to stop. Cause
Okay. I mean, I guess I could do that. I don't really want to... that means I have to cut it. And that means if I do cut it, I cut it for the size of the white fox. That's kind of a conundrum.
Jubei, to buy all those stickers, you gotta look through Facebook groups and Instagram. A lot of the artists who do a lot of slaps can be found online, and they usually run sales on Fridays. Today was a pretty big sale. Of course, today's 420, but that's not really the reason. But usually Fridays is a very common release day for most slap artists who do die cuts, which are ones where you peel and there's no background; it's just a character. Whether it's a peeker like this or like a full character. And then there's slaps, usually in like 8x3 or similar sizes. Yeah. They're all online. It's really big into the Atasha scene as well. Ooh, Sorbathane it up. 12 inches by 3.75. You might be able to do 12 by a bit bigger for yours because the case is bigger on the inside, I believe. So it might be do like 12 by 3 or maybe like 12 by 4, I mean.
Are people really interested in seeing the Sorbathane? That's going to be my determining factor. Because if I do the Sorbathane, I only have this one sheet. And if I cut this for the white fox.
Well, you can always use it for a smaller keyboard as well.
I can always use it for a smaller
for 60%.
keyboard.
So it's either 65. Yeah, you just can't use it for a TKL.
Actually, width-wise, it seems totally fine
Yeah.
as is. I cut a little bit off the top.
Yep.
Which is fine. I can do that if people are really, really, really wanting to see this. Few people are just like, I have to see this or hear this. Then
If
totally.
you really, really have to, I'd highly recommend watching my typing sounds on my Night Fox. Tefram 34. Sorbathane is a material used for vibration dampening, and I have found it works really, 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 really well for silencing sounds of keyboards to stopping reverberation. YouTube.com/C/TopClack. We have typing sounds videos, and we have one of my Night Fox, which is right here. Who I also put sorbethane on the inside. It's not felt. It's closer to rubber. It sticks to itself. For example, when you put it inside a case, it'll like almost like stick to the aluminum, and you actually have to, like, if you peel it off, it's more like it's like a rubber. Just look up sorbethane. S-O-R. I think it sounds sorbothane or sorbothane.
I think one of the reasons why I thought this was going to sound a little bit different was because I'm used to cases that are propped off the desk a little bit.
Ooh,
But
that one's...
since this is flat, it's right up against the desk. I'm actually testing back and forth here, off the desk and on the desk. It's a pretty big difference. So off the desk, it definitely sounds a bit higher pitched, a little bit more hollow. On the desk, it's really quiet. It's much quieter. It's much fuller of a sound. And I really don't think that when it's on the desk, sorbethane is going to make very much difference at all, if I'm being completely honest. It'll probably make a little bit of a difference, but not really enough for me to care.
I want to point out there's a interesting height difference between the Fiel and the Revo. The Revo feels pretty high.
Yeah. It's a taller case.
What board are you going to save it for then? A nice 60%? A nice custom?
I don't know, honestly, because, I mean, like, the thing about sorbethane is, like, it like, the thinner or lower quality or less denser material boards, that's where it benefits most, right? Like this is the kind of board it should be benefiting most.
Or even if it's a thick board, a board that has a lot of empty hollow space. It's good in hollow areas.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So I don't know, man. It's kind of strange.
Thicknesses you should get if you're considering looking them up. You should either get quarter inch should be the thickest you should be considering, but you should be considering that, or the 0.1 inch thickness. IMO. And in terms of sheet size, depends on what board you want to put it in, how you want to cut it. There's also different kind of materials. I'm going to try out some neoprene in the future. Hopefully that works almost as well, but it's cheaper. I think sorbethane... So, my Night Fox is aluminum, all aluminum, and sorbethane made the biggest difference. Like I said, on the Top Clack YouTube channel, there's a before and after of me typing on this with and without sorbethane. Please, if you haven't, if you're interested in sorbethane, watch it. You will see the difference, because I do this board exactly same layout, same everything, without it. I put it on sorbethane night and day. Hey, also subscribe if you haven't. We make awesome content, and our VODs go there.
Yes. Thank you for the link there, Briano1905. Top Clack. Or no, I'm sorry, youtube.com/c/Top Clack. You should actually be able to use just youtube.com/ also, not mistaken. Pretty good stuff there. You can also check out just topclack.com. Just topclack.com, where a lot of our stuff is as well.
I've seen the Holy Pana sorbethane vid in Ukraine. I actually don't have a Holy Pana sorbethane video. Here, I'll get you guys the direct links to that video right now. I'll let you if I can. Ooh. I actually have playlists. There's actually a playlist for typing sounds, but so there it is. Hako Violets. And then really right after I did that video, opened it, took it out, and then I did Hako Violets sorbethane. Oh, such a big difference when I listen to them back and back, and everyone else can also hear me when I listen to them. on stream. So here's
What do you-
typing
do you
sounds
mean
with Taco.
Discord?
No, they can hear what I hear on my computer. So I have YouTube open right now. I'm listening to the video. They can also hear because I have OBS giving me my straight audio.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, that's the difference for aluminum case.
I'm also rearrange my camera a little bit. Sorry for the vertigo again, guys. Put it back up to its much more normal spot.
Yeah. So Sweaty, if you want to take advantage of the R's, G's, and B's of your Kira, then no, you should not put sorbethane because it is a very, very opaque material. If you don't care about the lights at all, go for it.
It's also, as far as price goes,
It's pricey.
it's really expensive compared to a lot of other sounds experiences. Like, I don't know, I use Silverstone silencing foam, which is significantly less expensive per square foot or whatever. Shelf liner, another thing that's also relatively popular, although maybe a little bit more dated. We've come a little bit.
Shelf
since
liner
then.
isn't that good IMO.
Yeah, but I mean, it's one of those things where, like, if you can use like multiple layers of it, like, it might be fine. But yeah, there are a lot cheaper options on the market than sorbethane. Sorbethane is quite a bit more expensive, but it's also a lot more dense.
Is for
So,
me
I
made
mean,
the biggest difference.
Yeah, which is
Which I would
pretty
use it. I would
understandable.
use it for a board if I'm already paying like $400 for a custom. Yeah, then I'd definitely get sorbethane for that. That's what's $15 for silencing one of the nicest boards you can get, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So
Very, very true.
feel free to join the Discord if you have not joined yet. Feel free to sub to us on Twitch, sub to us on Discord, on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch if you haven't. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I hope if you guys get a chance to sub to our YouTube channel and just check out the content there. We're always making more stuff. All of the VODs for Top Clack, for any of our streams, for everything goes up there. Holy crap! My TX60 with MX Silence got 1,000 views already in like 1 week.
Also, side note, someone linked a typing test of mine on the Top Clack YouTube and said Brian's sorbethane holy panos. That is not sorbethane. That is Silverstone silencing foam, which is a much, much cheaper option than sorbethane.
Yes.
I got that on Amazon. It's like the same price as sorbethane, but instead of getting enough to silence one board, you get enough to silence like 12
Yeah.
or more, like 16 boards or something. Like it's substantially more value.
Yep.
That typing test has just one layer of Silverstone silencing foam, not sorbethane. I have not used sorbethane, and I don't think I'm going to use it on this board, at least yet. If I do, I'll upload a typing test. So,
well, at least we'll
be
get
sure
the
to-
typing test of the of it as is, because people are curious about a wood board and if it has been improved compared to old wood boards of the past.
Well-
and old wood cases have sucked in the past. That one, at least from our over Discord, sounds better.
Yeah, but to be completely fair, I think that's less to do with the case and more to do with the fact that they're Hako true, and just Kale switches in general, which I think have a bit more of a dampened, muted thud as opposed to like a clack. Like, I think if I built this board with, for instance, retooled cherry blacks or Gateron reds or something like that, I think this would be a very different scenario than it is now with the Hako tree. But regardless, I will put up a typing test.
Yay. Yay.
Possibly another one with sorbethane. We'll see.
Yes. Until next time, everyone, check out Top Clack every Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific, where we have a normal show. We have a guest next week. We've confirmed this guest like a month ahead of time, actually, so we should be good there. It's gonna be really exciting, actually a bit different from our norm, so you'll get to check that out when it happens. Yeah, tune in for that. Thank you so much for everyone who's joined us, everyone who's donated, everyone who supports Top Clack in any way. Special thanks to our sponsors as well for helping make all this happen. Feel free to check out all the content we have, and I hope you look forward to the upcoming content we have, like the Stab Lab and the Hako Royals review. So until next time, everyone,
Oh, yeah.
stay classy.